Hey everybody, this is Trevor Ramey, and I'm here to talk to you about teaching Arabic students in the U.S. So there are approximately 109,000 Arabic students in American schools, according to the National Center for Educational Statistics. However, I chose this topic and this group of students specifically because here in Montgomery and NPS, the Air War College brings a lot of Arabic students into our classrooms. Um, so first, I want to address some of the common misconceptions regarding your students if you happen to have some Arabic students. Media portrayals, political tensions in recent years, terrorist attacks have given some very unfair perspectives to these students. It's damaging in the case that they sometimes face bullying, but also in the eyes of the teachers, sometimes these students get a bad rap, and it can really have a negative effect on their academic performance. According to Al-Kitab, research shows that a significant factor in students' academic achievement and social adjustment is the way they perceive themselves, their abilities, and their self-worth. And in that same article, they discuss that teachers' perceptions of them can have a negative effect on that self-perception. So it's kind of important to get a better understanding of these students in your classroom if you wish to be an effective educator for them. So first of all, there's a great amount of diversity concerning these students. They come from many countries, over 22 countries in this area here, the Northern Africa and Southwestern Asia there. That's the general area that these countries are in. It's one region of the world. It's not one religion. Often there's this idea that everybody from the Arabic world are Muslim or follow the Islamic faith, and that's not true. It's a very diverse population, a lot of different faiths, including Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and some non-religious backgrounds as well. This is just a picture of some of the different pictures from people around the Arabic world. Oftentimes, movies and Hollywood portrayals will give you the idea that they're just these Bedouins, which are the nomadic, like desert-dwelling people from the Arabic world, but that's obviously very untrue. So also another misconception is that even if your student is a Muslim, that they hate America. There's a common, that this concept of I'm a Muslim does not mean I'm a terrorist is a common thing that people try to enforce. A lot of the bullying and negative perceptions of Muslim students in schools is a result of this dangerous and hurtful misconception. As a matter of fact, in a survey, according to Mr. Eunice here, in a survey conducted by Mistrillian Sardo Brown in 2001, a third of teachers in the U.S. reported a negative reaction upon hearing the word Islam. They responded using terms such as terrorist, enemy, trouble, war, bin Laden, and unfair treatment of women when this was discussed with them. Other teachers receive information through the media, but little research from research or direct personal experience with this population. So it's important to do research on your students and understand their culture. So here's a little bit of information that might help you with these students in your classroom. There will be cultural differences. Some things that you may not even expect, such as including music in your lessons, or if you have journal time or something where you play music. Just be aware that some Muslims may have reservations regarding music. Some types of music may not be acceptable to their parents, and you might go with some more soft, relaxing instrumental music in order to avoid offending anyone. Just be sensitive to that. Also, gender roles can be different in this culture. So, consider if you're a female and you're meeting a father for the first time, bringing a male colleague or vice versa. And anytime you have those parent conferences. Also, religious customs will play a part in these students' lives, so make sure or try to be aware of their religious observances. Don't schedule a test on a major Islamic holiday if you can help it, and respect fasting requirements. For instance, during the month of Ramadan, when these students might be fasting, understand that if they're tired or stressed out, it might be a result of fasting during the day. And if you provide, if they are traveling for Ramadan, oftentimes these families will travel during this time to go. Certain religious customs call them back to their homes. Maybe give the parents these assignments so they can be responsible for making their student gets the work done and isn't overwhelmed when they get back to school. Also be aware of some dietary restrictions. There's halal, which is permissible food, and haram, which is forbidden foods. That's just there's no pork. They're not allowed to eat pork. So check with your cafeteria. I know that in my experience, our school, if we have hot dogs and corn dogs, they're all beef hot dogs and corn dogs, and it's nice for these students to be able to enjoy a hot dog with their friends without having to worry about it. But having that knowledge yourself can be a big step in establishing a good relationship with that student. Help when in the classroom, if they're a new student, ease into the concept of small group and small group work. Let them get to know each other before you just plug them in, because they may be uncomfortable and have a bit of culture shock when meeting us or getting into a new classroom. Helping your students with pronunciation. So the English language might be very difficult for some of them, so here's some good tactics for helping them. Have them record and listen to themselves doing speaking activities so that they can hear how it sounds and compare that to what they hear when we speak. When doing drilling activities and role plays, draw attention to the intonation by imitating different moods, like going over the top with it so they understand that certain intonations are associated with certain feelings, and have fun with it. Role plays can be fun, and they'll help students with this. I know it's worked in my class. Help your students get engaged, especially if they're learning our English language. Use as much graphic representation as possible, because if they can follow along with what y'all are doing with pictures, if not by reading the words, then they will be more engaged and be more academically motivated. And finally, lean in, get to know these parents. Teachers are highly respected in the Arabic community, which is great, but it also means that parents may not reach out to you because that respect for you leads to a common perspective that they don't need to interfere with what you're doing. So if you have an issue, take it to them, because oftentimes they want to be active in this culture, in their students' academia, but they need to know there's a problem that they need to solve before they step in, because they don't want to step on your toes. Here's my reference page. I hope you got something out of this. If nothing else, go read some of these articles and learn something about your students. Thank you very much.